Yo, what's up guys? So welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be talking about functions and data types. I think we might get to that if we have time. And then, alright, that's what we're doing. Yeah, today I have a hood on because I got the most embarrassing haircut of all time. If this video gets I don't know, 20 likes, then I might do a haircut reveal, which is gonna be embarrassing. Anyways, see you there. Okay, so functions and data types. What would you think if someone just threw these words at you and you probably, think in a perspective, you don't have any coding experience, and someone just told you, could you please write a function for me and explain the data types there are in this language and so on. You'd probably be really confused, and you probably would think that's some really intense and advanced stuff you're just telling me right there. But in reality, it's really easy and it's not even that hard to understand. And I'm here today to simplify and make it easier for you to understand. So I hope you have everything ready up, set up, like the Visual Studio Code and the web server. Oh my god, why am I talking? I don't even have the web server ready. Anyways, sorry about that. It's just real quick. So what I did was just create an empty folder in wherever I want, and then I just opened the empty folder on. Oh my god. Yeah, and then I opened it here. Oh, that's my previous video. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. It's really good. Anyways, so now I have everything set up. What is that one? Alright, let's get coding. So, new file. Ignore those two MP4 files. Those are just my intro stuff. Anyways, so we would have an index.html, of course. And then we would also need script.js. We wouldn't need a styles.css page because actually, to be honest with you, we're not doing any styling here. This is just explaining all the basics and fundamentals to you guys. So instead of writing everything like doc, type, HTML and stuff, there's a emit abbreviation or hotkey almost. So you could say, so you put exclamation mark and then tab, and then it gives you a template almost, and now you can just change the title. Let's make this, oh my god, functions. I never heard of those. Functions and data types in JavaScript. Yeah, I really hope you have it clear by now that we're actually working on JavaScript right now. For now, I guess. We might be doing something else. And now we need to link the script.js into our HTML. We could just do that by saying script. This is another emit abbreviation. You just write script, and then these two shall pop up, and then you could just click on script : src. And then you could just, in the src quotation marks, you could just say script.js. Alright, it's right there. And then if we save that and go check it out, it's blank. I mean, what else are you expecting? We didn't do anything. And now let's open the console, which is Control-Shift-J, the JavaScript console. Here, everything we would do potentially would be here. Okay, so let's talk data types first. So data types are really simple to understand. They're just types of data, or data is just information that a computer stores. So data types, some of the popular data types are, all of them are popular, but anyways, the most used ones are numbers. So right here, I use the data type of a number. Here I gave the value of 1, which is a number, or it could be any number. let's say that crazy number. I don't want to say that. And then we just assign it to A. So that's a type of data. And then another type of data could be, AVR. Another type of data, let's say B now, could be strings. Just remember that strings should always be in quotation marks. It doesn't matter which quotation marks. It could be single or double. It really does not matter. JavaScript doesn't care about those. So let's say B is equal to, hey there, viewers, gamers, coders. I have no idea what that's a string, or strings are just a type of data which stores words and sentences. And so if you want to see these in action, we could just do something really quick. Console.log. Let's say we're going to log A. This should potentially show in the console this number. In the previous video, we talked about console logging and what all that was about. And now let's say we're logging B. So this should say, hello there, gamers and coders. So let's go check it out. Look, it's exactly what the number is. So this number is the same as this number. And then in here it says, hey there, gamers and coders, which was this one. Okay, so these are the two main types of data types. And another very popular one is Booleans. Let's say C. So Booleans just have two values, true or false. You could take them as yes or no, 1 or 0 in binary. I think that's how it works. Anyways, so let's say C is equal to false. Let's try console logging C. Console.log C. Let's see what it shows here. It says false. Well, I mean, makes sense. And it looks like a string, but it actually isn't a string because we don't have quotations around it. If there weren't any quotations here, it probably wouldn't have shown this. Let's try that out. Let's say there isn't any quotations here. You see how it shows errors? Now if we try reloading this, it says uncaught syntax error. So this is not a string. For sentences only, you use quotation marks. False and true are not considered strings unless you want them to be a part of string and like put quotation marks around them. So if I just put quotation marks around this one, it would be considered a string. But it's not a string. We could Booleans are not stringed, whatever. We could change this to true, and it would show true, of course. And then show true. All right. Another type of data type is objects. So objects are mainly used in games because I've used them mostly in games. To be honest with you, I've used them only in games. So like for games such as Angry Birds, like for the slingshot, it is actually like when you want something to be connected to a point in the space of the canvas, you use objects. So like you can give an x value. Let's say the x value would be 200, and then comma y value. So this is considering it as an object, and the stuff inside the curly braces would be the parameters of that object. So you won't have to define what the object is, but these would just consider point. Let's say 200 for y as well. So this would consider the point 200 in the, just think of it as a coordinate plane. Then it would consider this place as an object. And we could also add something really random. Let's say name of object. Where let's say for name of object we can tell it name of object. Let's just say center, because I have no idea what I should call it. Let's just call it pizza, because like I can't get it out of my head right now. Alright, so pizza. Now let's see. if I can, oh my god, nozzle. I don't think this video should get that long, but it might. Right. Pizza is not defined. Anyways, it is like objects is in my opinion the most complex of the data types. And if you search up how many data types of JavaScript are there, how many data types are there in JS, you would see there's 8. So let's go check out what they were. So, right, this is a new one, big int. Anyways, so other types of data types are other types of data types, okay? And the other types of data types again are 2 of the main ones, which are usually shown. One is undefined and the other is null. Null just means nothing. No, it literally means nothing. So if we go and like console.log e, what do you mean I removed it? Right, let's just comment that out for now. It says null, and you see like that grayish tint to it, which isn't there for any other. This just means it's nothing. Sometimes when you don't define anything, it won't show null, but it probably would show undefined. So let's check that out. Var f is equal to undefined. So I think you have used a calculator before. So sometimes when you divide by 0, or like you divide 0 by 0, you probably get some a message such as undef or undefined, depending on what kind of calculator you are. So undefined technically just stores that value. And now if we just console.log f, because I forgot to do that and I was looking for output even though I forgot, right? It says undefined. You see like how null and undefined are looks the same, but their values are somewhat similar, but they are really different at the same time. So if you forget to like define a value or a parameter of an object, it might show undefined. Or maybe if you just call a variable that has never been defined, or a function that has never been defined, it might show undefined. Like an error saying blah 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 is undefined, syntax error or something, right? So those are the actual data types that you need to know about, because these data types are actually like the most important ones. And then there are some other ones like a big int, which is a new one, and then of course there's a function one, which, well, we're going to talk about. Oh, I just crossed out. Never mind. Let me just I'm being weird. Right? So everything is fine. So now let's talk functions. Functions can be stored in different ways. You can store it as a variable, like this. Var, let me just remove all this. Actually, I'll just comment everything out from here to here. So this is multi-line comments, by the way. And these are single-line comments, starting with 2 slashes. And multi-line comments start with a slash, asterisk, ends with an asterisk slash. It's not like Python. Python doesn't have multi-line comments. Anyways, so functions could be stored like, let's say function what is your fav food? That is kind of a long function. A name for a function. So we could store it as a variable, what is your fab food? And then we could just say function. And then after the function we need this is the syntax if you store a function as a variable, And this is the syntax if you don't store it as a variable. So you write function keyword and then write the name. Let's say for this one, what is thy name? I have no idea. So here you would have to give the name and then do the open close brackets and then open the curly braces. Okay, now let's say what is your fav food? We could say for this function alert. So alert and then alert. Actually, so we want to, in this function, what we actually want to do in your what is your fav food, we want to ask the user what is your favorite food, and then for that we don't need alert but we need prompt. One second. Now right here it says we need to write the string and then some optional ones. So let's just write in prompt, what is your favorite food? And then in what is function, what is thy name, we want to alert. In this case alert because I don't want to ask the user twice, what is your favorite food? What is your name? I don't want to do that. I just want to alert him that string, we have to write it as a string or else it would be weird. But note that I'm starting with the double braces so I can use not double braces, double quotation marks, so I can use a single quotation mark for don't, or else I would just have to write I do not. Did I just write do not? Okay, I don't know your name. Know your name yet. I know it's super exciting. Alright, now, so let's see if it works. It shouldn't, because I shall explain 1 second. So, nothing, no alerts, no prompts. Why isn't it working? So the thing with functions is, first, when you describe the function, when you say what the function is, it's like calling a person. So you're like, nice to meet you. You store their name or anything in your brain. And then when you see them again, you call the function and remember what their name was. And then you were like, hey there, I don't know, John Watson. Okay. So just like that, we would have to call these functions in order for them to work. So first I want to ask them the name, tell them that we don't know their name first, and then ask them what their favorite food is. So this is how you call functions. You put the name, have these, if you have any parameters in here, like it could be X, Y, you could have parameters in those brackets. But in our case, we don't have any, so we would just open and close bracket and then put a semicolon, and this is how we actually call functions in JavaScript. And let's call what is your fav food as well. Oops, what? What is your fav food is equal to void. Okay, let's see if it works. So it says, I don't know your name yet. So the alert works. So this function is being called. What is thy name? So I'm getting the alert, I don't know your name yet. Okay, let's press OK. What is your fav food is not a function. This would not be considered as a function because we stored this as a variable. So if we just took this part out, oops, and then right here we wrote, what is your fav food? Right there. Now let's try it. So what is thy name is being run. I don't know your name yet. Okay, I don't care. And then the prompt is here. What is your favorite food? Oh my god. So this is we would be talking about the prompt and alert. Let's just do it right now. So the prompt just opens up a text box or like something, and then it's like, okay, so this is the text. This is what I want to know. This is what is put in here. What is your favorite food? So this is what I want to know, and then there would be the place where the user types in the information that the computer is looking for. This can be stored as variables by just saying, let's say var food. So it could be stored like this. So like whatever the user writes in order to respond to this question would be stored as the variable food in our code. And alert is technically just a pop-up which just alerts the person of something. So when we restart or like just start our program, this is an alert. It doesn't ask for anything. It just alerts the user that I don't know your name yet. Okay. It could say anything according to what the string you put in there. And then prompt asks for a prompt. So my favorite food, let's say, I can't really think right now. I don't know. Pizza. Okay. Now let's do something interesting and wrap up. So we stored this as a variable, right? So what if we want to show what variable we actually stored? Oops. If I say food, we would have to put this inside the function because of scope. This is not a global variable. This is only available in the function. We would be talking about this later. So let's just put that there. Let's try it. Oh my god. Let's say my favorite food is food. Yeah, I don't know what that means. See, and then it returns the value, whatever we just told them. So let's just try that again. Let's say my favorite food is pizza again. Pizza or hamburger. Man, I miss those. Okay. Now it returns whatever the value that the user gave. As I said, it stores the value as the variable food right here, and then console logs it after food has a value, or after the user says that this is my favorite food. So yeah, that is it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like and maybe try helping me out by subscribing and commenting out what I should do better next time and whatever I should probably talk about. And so yeah, see you guys.